Rent Roll Starter. Today I wanted to share with you my 3 favourite books of all time. These are the 3 books that have probably most impacted my life, and they've impacted my life both in my business life but also in my personal life too. I've just found that there's some really great applications in all areas of my life from these books. So I wanted to share them with you. One of the books is a real classic, it's been around for a really long time, and the other 2 are much newer books. So I wanted to share them with you so that if you haven't read them yet, you might like to give them a go. So I've got a couple of them here for you today, but I'm just sharing the 3. I have quite a few books here with me, but I'll just share my 3 favourites with you. So the first one is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now this is a really old book, it's a classic, and I would imagine that a lot of people have already read this book. You can see from my book that I've got little pages tagged, and I've actually gone through and underlined and highlighted a whole bunch of things in this book. It's the only book that I've ever actually put underlines and written in and that sort of thing. I think it had the most impact on me probably over 10 years ago, and I keep rereading it. So I read this book about once a year. It can be a little bit hard to get into initially because it's not written with modern English. It's written as though it was written a long time ago, which it was. So it can take a little bit to get into, but once you're into it, there's just gold in the pages, and the strategies that are inside this book are really old strategies, but they're really, really current strategies as well. They're strategies for creating wealth using practical processes, but also harnessing your mind power as well. So that's something, if you haven't read Think and Grow Rich, I'd encourage you to get into it. Give it a couple of chapters before you give up on it. And perhaps even if you're not enjoying reading it, perhaps download it on Audible and listen to it as well, because there's so much value in it. There's lots of exercises that you can do inside the book, and I do these regularly. I just think it's gold. So that's probably the most life-changing book I've read, perhaps ever. So that's one. The next book I want to share with you is probably one I've mentioned in blog posts before. It's The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And this book I read a few years ago when I still owned my rent roll, and it really changed the way I ran my business. So I don't have a desire to run a 4-hour-a-week business, although that is something that Tim Ferriss talks about, because he actually managed to get his business to a stage where it only took 4 hours a week to manage. For me, I don't really want that. I'm happy to work a little bit more than 4 hours a week, but it taught me an awful lot about efficiency versus effectiveness. It taught me about delegating. It was after reading this that I hired my first virtual assistant, and it just keeps me on track with the way I'm running my business, but also the way I'm running my life, and just looking at, well, what am I getting value from, and what could I outsource, and all those sorts of things. So I read this about once a year as well. I also have this book on Audible, and I listen to it at least once a year as well. And it feels as though every time I read it, it's like I'm reading it for the first time. So if you haven't read that, I would recommend getting yourself a copy of The 4-Hour Workweek as well. Even if you're not in a business that you want to work 4 hours a week, but if you just want to manage your work and your life a little bit more effectively, it's worthwhile giving that one a read or a listen. And then the third and final book is a book that I read for the first time last year in 2016. And this one is by Denise Duffield-Thomas, and it's called Get Rich Lucky Bitch. And I really like it. So it's a newer book, and it's focused on wealth creation and focusing on your mindset in particular. So while in lots of ways it's talking about wealth creation from a financial perspective, so many of the exercises and the practices in this book are the types of things that you can apply to any area of your life. So whether it's your business and whether it's your finances that you're generating from your business, or it might be to do with your health or to do with your relationships, there are lots of practical exercises you can do in this book to help you manifest or create whatever it is you're looking for in your own life. So they're my 3 favourite books. Certainly my 3 favourite books at the moment. Think and Grow Rich has been a favourite for probably more than 10 years. The 4-Hour Workweek has been my favourite for a couple of years, and Get Rich Lucky Bitch has just arrived as a favourite in the last 12 months. So they're my favourite books at the moment. I will link them in the description below so that you can go and have a look and you can check them out for yourself. But I'd really love to hear from you and find out what your favourite books are. I'm constantly looking for new books to read and also new books to listen to as well, because I love listening to audiobooks. So if you want, I'd love for you to leave in the comment section below the 3 favourite books of yours, or the book that's impacted you the most in the last 12 months. So if you want to pop that in the description, in the comment section below, that would be awesome, and then we can all learn from your favourite books, and perhaps I can download some of them and listen to them myself. So if you've got any questions at all about how I applied any of the strategies in these books, or anything else in relation to starting a rent roll, please contact me at rentrollstarter.com.au. My name's Ellen, I'm from Rent Roll Starter, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye!